guys. Hi, I'm Zach.
I'm Josh.
I'm Lam.
And I'm Jordan.
All right, guys, our book was called A Practical Guide to Job Analysis by Preen, Goodstein, and Gamble. And our book focuses on about how to do a job analysis, which is defined as a process for gathering information about a job. So basically, a job analysis, they figure out is what you do in a job, kind of the skills that you actually need for a job. Now, if we were all in a company, kind of high up in the management, this would be a great book, because we probably do this, every year or so. And I hope one day all of you are successful enough that you might get to do something like this. But as college students, this really isn't important. When companies do with the job analysis, though, it is very important. Companies use a job analysis to make the job description. And as kids, as students who are about to enter the workforce, this is something we really need to understand. Literally, every time you look at a job opening, there will be a job description. But we are never taught how to read, what the important parts of a job description are, or how it's even set up. You really need to know this to be able to, get the job you want and be very successful. I can't stress enough how important the job description is. Now, there are three main components of the job description. These actually come from the job analysis. Three main points are there's going to be a description of the tasks involved with the job or the activities. There's going to be the knowledge, skills, and abilities you actually need for that job. And there's going to be the workplace characteristics of the place you're going to work.
When you first read the job description, you have to pay special attention to the job purpose. The job purpose lays out what is expected of the employee, what role that job will play in a company's organizational structure, what the basic responsibilities will be, and how integral to the success of the company that job actually is. Basically, the job purpose tells you why the job exists. You also have to consider what your primary duties will be. These are basically what you'll be doing every day. These include things such as working phone lines, analyzing financial data, or even typing reports. It is critical that you know what these are because they will determine whether or not you can capably perform that job. The primary duties have two main aspects. These are the importance of the duty and the frequency of the duty. The important and frequent duties are things that happen every single day. These are the things that are going to be the bulk of what you'll be doing at that job. It's critical that you look at these and know whether or not you can do them well, because basically, if you can't do them, you shouldn't be looking at that job. Important but infrequent duties also are pretty important. These are things that you won't be doing on a daily basis, and perhaps you'll never even do them at all. However, when the time comes that you do need to do them, you have to do them well. For example, most police officers never have to fire their weapon in self-defense. However, when the time comes that they do have to do that, it's critical that they do it well, or they could really get into serious trouble. Important but infrequent duties vary drastically. However, it is critical that you can do these duties whenever the time comes.
So when you read a job posting, an important thing you have to read is the job requirement. So read them carefully and ask yourself, are you right for this job? You have the things that they are already written down. They can be about your education, such as your certification, experience, technical skills, or soft skills. You know what? For a single job posting, a hiring manager normally receives a 4-inch stack full of applications, and he spent only 2 minutes to throw away 80% of them. So be careful because the resumes that do not meet the minimum requirements really need to go. But the most important thing here is please do not lie. Do not lie in your resume, do not lie in your interview, because most companies now conduct a background check, and even if you have some way to pass a background check, your job performance may lead to another additional review and even may end up in your firing. So what if you don't meet every single requirement? We are all college students, so there are nearly no way we have like 5 years experience or CPA certification. So what should we do? I would suggest that reconsider it, and if you think you are suitable, go ahead and apply for it, because you have nothing to lose but much to gain. So you can translate the experience you've already had to the duties in the New York, or maybe you can end up highlighting a new skills that the job requirement didn't list. So go ahead and try for it, because the worst thing that can happen to you is that the company won't call you back.
Thank you, Lauren. Now let's take a look at workplace characteristics. Now, no matter what job you have in your lifetime, whether you end up working overseas or in the comfort of your own home, you're going to have a designated workplace, and you need to be aware of your situation. Now, for example, let's say Micah back there becomes a Victoria's Secret model, and Matt becomes a lawyer. Obviously, for one of those people, it's going to be okay to wear underwear in the office. For the other, not so much. Now, besides these physical characteristics, or actually, if we take a look at the picture behind me, we see two comparing work environments. On one, we see a relaxed environment, casual clothing, personalized cubicles for the employees. On the other behind me, we see two men dressed in professional attire, and you can also notice that they're wearing hard hats to account for the dangerous work zone that they're in. Now, though these physical elements are important to your job, one of the main points we want to focus on today is organizational culture. Now, every company has a unique way of doing work. The way they do work is usually contributes to their organizational culture. The ideologies, values, and principles that these companies have are all parts of the organizational culture. And this culture promotes certain things in the workplace, such as interaction among employees. Some companies may encourage team-based projects, while others may emphasize individual competition. Now, we're going to show you a video behind me of an office place that lacks professionalism.
Okay, hold on. Judge is in session. What is the problem here? You put my stuff in Jell-O again. That's real professional. Thanks. It's the third time. It wasn't funny the first two times either.
So, as you just saw in this video, this office obviously lacked the discipline necessary to keep childlike pranks that you would see maybe like in middle school and high school out of the office place. So, finally, in our last slide, we're going to show you a side-by-side comparison of two sample job descriptions. One being an entry-level position and the other being an account manager. Now, looking at the entry-level marketing and sales, we see some key highlighted points in here. Some keywords: supporting, actively managing marketing campaigns, provides coordination, and it's also important to note that for this entry-level position, you can see the requirements aren't very high. It's just a high school education and exceptional communication skills. Now I'm going to let Zach go over the accounting manager position.
All right, guys, now if you look at the difference between the two, one of the first things you can actually look at is the words used in the different job descriptions. There's words like managing and reporting, preparing in the account managing position, and this is kind of lets you know there's going to be more responsibilities in this job. And the entry level, it's kind of more supporting role. Also, if you look at the amount of words in the job description, there's a lot more in the more advanced jobs. So this kind of lets you know, again, it's being a more sophisticated position. It's something that you're going to have to be prepared for if you're applying for this job. So you kind of know that if you want to be a leader, you're going to have to do this kind of job. Also, at the bottom, it kind of shows the skills and requirements. Entry level, there wasn't really much, just a high school education. But again, with the account manager, bachelor's degree, CPA. So again, obviously, if you're going to apply for this job, you need to have these certifications. Like Lem said, don't lie. The company will figure out. And job description, it's all about fit. If you understand this job description, you'll be able to know if the job's a good fit for you, and if you really want to do this job and you're prepared to do the duties that it has. So, are there any questions? Really, guys, are there any questions?
Actually, I have a question. Josh, are you ready for your dance solo?
Dance solo.
Did you read the description for this project?
Yes, I didn't.